Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Chair Yoga. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share this class together, and I really look forward to this opportunity that we're going to spend together doing some chair yoga. So I just want to explain the setup real quick. So I've got a nice sturdy chair, card table chair here, and just setting it this way for right now because I'm going to be spending a lot of time facing side to side with you. So in general, we just want the chair seated at the front of our mat so that we have a lot of mat space for our feet back here. Now, if you don't have a mat, just make sure we have a non-skid floor or even wearing our shoes for this class as well. That's perfectly fine. Okay, I also have a block. It's not necessarily required, so if you don't have a block, don't worry about it. It's not going to be a game changer. Okay, so we just have that available to us. All right. So for now, I'm just going to turn my chair to face towards you, and then we'll get into our practice. All right. So let's go ahead and find our chairs and sit all the way back into those chairs. Sit all the way back into those chairs. Get a nice, comfortable posture. Sit nice and tall. Ears over shoulders, over hips, and let that back of that seat support our back. Our knees hovering above our ankles, feet flat on the floor. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And let's just allow ourselves to take this moment of some stillness to prepare our minds, prepare our bodies for our practice today. So as we begin with our practice, we'll begin with just trying to maintain stillness within our bodies. As we do that, our bodies find a restful state. And it just allows our bodies to calm down and subsequently our minds to begin to calm down. The theme of today is finding comfort with discomfort. Of course, some of us are probably feeling that right now. As we get into more of our physical practice, where we're getting into various postures or asanas, some of those postures may not be the most comfortable for you. And so what we try to do is we try to position our bodies in a way where we find comfort in those postures. Which means we're not forcing our bodies into these poses. We're using the poses to get into our bodies, okay? And if we feel discomfort, that means we're pushing too far. And so the idea with yoga is to allow ourselves to find some self-care, to find some gentleness, to find some moderation as we move our bodies. Because if we're pushing too far, then it's not something that's going to present a good experience for us. It's not something that maintains the idea of self-care. And quite honestly, it's something to where if we push our bodies to the brink, then we risk injury. And of course, that really is not the best experience for our yoga practice as well. And so the idea is to reach in. Allow our minds to concentrate on the poses. And the only way for our minds to concentrate on those poses is allowing ourselves to be fully present right here and right now. Not where we were yesterday, and not where we think we might be tomorrow, but right here, right in our chairs, right on our mats, fully absorbed in our practice. And while we're doing that, we'll begin focusing on our breath as we breathe in and out, allowing ourselves to deepen our inhales and lengthen our exhales. Taking those breaths to a depth that is unnatural, meaning trying to fill those lungs as much as we can, and then exhale and complete that breath and empty those lungs as much as we can. And as we begin to focus on the breath there, what happens with our bodies as we begin to find ourselves in a restful state. We begin to shift out of a fight or flight mode and into that restful state. And as we do that, we begin to find perhaps comfort from discomfort. Let's continue to deepen those inhales and those exhales. Now, throughout our physical practice, we'll want to maintain this breathing pattern. So that as we're moving our bodies, we're connecting the movement with the breath, allowing us to stay in that mode of comfort in our postures. Very nice. Let's go ahead and shift forward into our chairs. Take our backs off the seat backs. Still maintain our knees above our ankles and feet fully on the floor. Begin with our hands at heart center and connect that nice deep breath with movement as we fan our arms out onto the sides. Inhale up nice and tall and exhale right back to our heart center. And let's do that 4 more times. Inhale and reach for it. And exhale right back to our heart center. Each time we breathe in, we try to reach a little bit higher and feel that stretch through our shoulders and through our ribs. And each time we exhale, we try to feel a little bit softer in our bodies, through our shoulders and through our bellies. Maintain that nice tall posture. Last one right here. Inhale and exhale. And now let's add some gentle twists. Inhale up nice and tall, and then exhale and face the left side. A little rotation as we stay tall. Inhale up, right back to center again. And then nice long exhale. Face the right this time. Face the right. And continue to do that, alternating side to side. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Reach nice and tall through those fingertips. Keep the length of our spine as tall as we can. One more time to the left, inhaling and exhaling. And then one more time to the right. Very nice. Let's come right back to heart center. Good. And with our left leg, let's just bring our left leg out and point our toes and knees to the left side. So we're creating a little bit of a 90-degree angle right here, okay? Keep our left hand on top of our left leg. Inhale our right hand up and hold it up there for a side bend, which means we're stretching from our fingertips through our shoulders down to those ribs and hips. You can rest our arm or hand on that leg. Please avoid the knee, and then breathe. Breathe in nice and deeply. Feel those lungs. Feel those lungs expand and those ribs expand in that stretch. Very nice. So we exhale, come back to neutral, and fingertips to our temples. We're going to crunch now to the left side. So on the exhale, bring our left elbow towards that left knee, and inhale back up to nice neutral spine. Exhale and inhale. And do that 3 more times. Exhale and inhale. Good. And a little bit of core work just to get our body working a little bit. Excellent. And then also getting that spine of ours just moving in a different direction. One last time right here, and then we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. So let's bring that left leg back to where it's at, and then that right leg is pointing out to the right side. Again, a little 90-degree angle right here. Right hand on the leg, left hand inhales up nice and tall. I'm even holding on to the bottom of my chair just to get a little bit more leverage and just allow me to kind of press that arm in and then press my hips to the left side of the room. So I'm really kind of driving my hip over to the left side like I'm trying to set my hip on the wall. Breathe in now. Fill those lungs, expand those ribs. Very nice. And just another deep inhale and exhale. And as we come onto that exhale, come right back down, fingertips to those temples. Take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, right elbow toward the knee, toward the leg. Inhale, back up tall, and then exhale. A little squeeze right here between the hips and the ribs. Okay, just bring those two, the ribs and hips, closer toward each other. Maybe a couple more times right there. Excellent. Last one. Exhale and inhale. Perfect. Let's come right back to front and center. And then keep our feet a little bit wider. We're going to do a seated version of cat and cow. We'll do an upright version in just a moment as well. Fingertips to the inside part of our leg, thumbs on top of our leg. And we're going to inhale as we look up and arch our back. And then we're going to exhale as we look down and round our spine. Good. Inhale and look up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Drop our bellies down. Inhale and look down. Round our spine. Squeeze those abs. Let's go ahead and do that 3 more times at your own pace. Inhale, inhale. Squeeze those shoulders. Exhale. Separate those shoulders. Separate those shoulders. Even push those hands into the legs. Couple more times. Couple more times. Very nice. One last time. And that's the way we do a little cat and cow today. Very nice. Very nice. Let's come on out of our chairs. And then we're going to turn our chairs. And now I'm going to start just facing to the side a little bit. So turn our chairs to where the seat bottoms are facing toward us. So we're standing right behind our chair. And if we have a mat, we still have most of the mats behind us. So most of the mat behind us. Okay, all fours here. So, and if you have a block, go ahead and put that block on top of the chair just so we know where it's at. Okay? All right, all fours, all fours. So hips still right above those legs. And we're going to bring our hands down onto the chair, shoulders right above those hands. And we're going to begin again, cat and cow. Same idea as what we just did. Okay, so we're going to look up and bring our tailbones up to the sky, squeeze our shoulder blades together, drop our bellies down. And then we're going to exhale, look down, round our spine, and bring that spine as high as we can towards the sky. And just flow through that. Inhale, look up, and exhale. Separate those shoulders and look down. Give me a couple more times just like that. Just flow. Just flow in a way that allows you to move with your breath. Excellent. And last time. Last time. Good. From here, a little bit more core work. So let's keep those shoulders right above those hands as best we can. We're going to walk those feet back just a little bit. So much so that our heels are slightly off the ground. But maintain that the shoulders over hands and pressing straight down. So little knee pulls, some knee pulls. So we're going to bring our knee to our elbow and just set it back down and alternate side to side or alternate legs. Okay, there we go. Keeping those shoulders, maintaining the squareness of our shoulders and hips toward the ground. As we bring those knees, no need to touch knees and elbows. If you're unable to do it, don't worry about a thing, okay? You do you, and I'll do me, and we'll all be a big, happy family. Okay, give me a couple more on those. A couple more. Last time, each knee, each leg. Good. All right, and let's walk those feet forward. Again, right under those hips and spinal balance now. So with our right hand, reach it forward, thumbs up toward the sky. And our left heel, kick it straight behind you. Still keeping those shoulders and hips square to the ground as best you can. Lengthen your body from your fingertips to your heels or toes. It doesn't matter what happens back there. Okay, and then exhale, bring that right hand down and that left foot down. And do the same thing, other side. Left hand up, thumb up toward the sky, and press that heel to the back of the room. Good. There we go. Again, lengthen your body. How long can you make your body right here? Excellent. And then bring that hand down. Let's flow through this now. So on the inhale, right hand and left heel. On the exhale, bring it down. On the inhale, left hand, right heel. And on the exhale, bring it on down. And keep going, and keep flowing. Just moving at your own pace. And as we continue to extend our bodies, we're reaching as far as we can, fingertips to heels. And then when we're comfortable with that length, maybe lift the heels a little bit more, squeeze those glutes a little bit more, and maybe into our lower back. Then maybe lift those thumbs up just a little bit more, and squeeze into the middle and upper part of our back. Excellent. Last time on each side. That ought to do it. Very nice. One more thing right here is pendulums. I'm going to face you so you can see this. Stay right where you're at. Pendulums, feet together, side to side, hips right above those knees and ankles. And we're just going to bring our legs out side to side laterally. Now, if you want a little something extra here, toes toward the shins. Toes toward the shins as we bring those legs out side to side. So that will hit into those hip flexors, into our core a little bit extra right there. Those external obliques in the side of our body. Good. And then continue on. 2 more on each side. And then last one. Outstanding. Very nice. Good. I'm going to bring my chair back from all fours. Let's inhale up nice and tall. And then exhale to our heart center. Very nice. We're going to do our sun A's now. Our sun salutation A's complete with down dog. So we're going to take our hands and shoot them up toward the sky. Inhale. And then exhale and forward fold down. And as I come down, nice long spine, and either use the chair to rest my hands on or take that block and bring it down towards the ground and rest my hands down there, or all the way down. And just take a moment to spend some time in forward fold. As we allow ourselves to settle into this pose, find some comforts in this pose. Relax. Relax those shoulders, relax the jaw, create space between our teeth, and let the crown of our head fall towards the floor. This is one of these poses that when we're feeling a little bit of discomfort, when we're feeling a little bit of stress and anxiety, this pose right here, if we just get into it and stay into it for a couple minutes, it just allows us to interact with our nervous system to get us out of that fight or flight and back into that restful state. So use this one anytime you need to use this. On our next inhale, we're going to set our hands on the chair and make our spine nice and long. Crown of our head to our tailbone. It's called half lift or monkey pose. And just imagine, we're going to stay right here for a moment. Just imagine you're sitting on the wall behind you with your tailbone. So a little dynamic tension up those hamstrings and into those glutes. And a little bit of weight into our heels as we shift back, even though the whole foot stays on the floor. Now with our hands straight down on the chair, exhale and step one foot back at a time towards the back of our mat and bring our ears between our arms. Downward facing dog. Now here the whole foot stays on the ground, heel to toe, ears between those arms, and we're pressing straight down on the chair. From here, let's begin just alternating and pedaling those feet. So lift one heel up at a time and alternate. And from here you might feel just a little bit of a deeper stretch on that leg or that heel that's still grounded. Awesome. Good stretch up top between those shoulder blades and in through those ribs. And if we continue and take that nice deep inhale and exhale, we'll feel a nice special stretch through those ribs. Good. Stillness on those feet. Let's inhale as we step forward towards the chair. A little bend in our knees. Exhale and inhale. Sweep up nice and tall right back to heart center. Let's do that again 4 more times. Inhale, reach for the stars. Exhale, come on down. And inhale, up to flat back. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. On the inhale, step forward towards that chair. Exhale, bend those knees and inhale, sweep the hands nice and tall right back to heart center. Again, here we go. Inhale, reach. And exhale, come on down. Inhale up to that flat back and exhale, step it on back, ears between those arms. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, bend those knees and inhale, reach as high as we can. Exhale, back to heart center. Couple more. Inhale up and exhale, come on down. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, come on back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, and exhale, bend those knees. Inhale, reach for the stars. One more time, and exhale, back to heart center again. Inhale up and exhale, come on down. Inhale up to that flat back and exhale, bring it back, downward facing dog. There we are. Inhale, step forward, bend those knees, get those legs working. Use the power of those legs to sweep those hands up nice and tall and right back to heart center. Let's take a moment to stand right here. Rest those thumbs on our hearts. Let ourselves catch our breath and just allow ourselves to take a moment of some stillness. A moment of some stillness. Good. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to move my chair now, and I'm going to face you initially, and then I'm going to turn to the side. Okay, so go ahead and just act like I'm still facing you, and and the chair is going to be on the left side of the mat, seat back facing in. Seat back facing in, okay? Our right foot will be forward and our left foot will be back, and we're going to find Warrior One posture. We're going to put a deep bend in that right knee right toward our toes, and that back foot stays on the ground, heel to toes. And we've got that chair right there if we need it, or we can raise both arms up nice and tall and just relax those shoulders down. And from this Warrior One, we just breathe nice and deep, in and out. Good. Now I'm going to turn to the side, and so you stay right where you're at in this Warrior One. So as I turn to the side in this Warrior One, we're going to take a nice big inhale, and then we're going to open up to Warrior Two. So how we do that, that front knee and foot stay right where they're at. They don't move at all. That back foot just points off to the left side of the room, and our arms extend front and back. We have that chair right there if we need it. Okay, just use it just like that block as a prop. It's not required. It's just something that if we need it, it gives us the stability and comfort if we find discomfort in this pose. Very nice. Also with Warrior Two, we want to really think about our posture. Okay, think about how we're having our ears over our shoulders and over hips, nice and tall trunk. Okay, sometimes we get into this pose, we lean too forward or we lean too back. We want our feet to feel balanced, to carry our body weight nice and evenly. From here, we're going to lengthen that front leg. Take a little mercy on that front leg. Keep those arms nice and long. We're going to find triangle pose as we breathe in nice and deep, and then exhale, reach as far forward as we can. When we can reach no further, we just tip over and set that hand above or below the knee on the leg, back hand to the chair or up toward the sky. Okay, now if we want to, we have that block. If we have a block, we can also use that block and set the hand on the block to the inside part of that right leg. So triangle pose, we're just reaching nice and high, trying to stack through our shoulders, trying to stack through our ribs, and trying to feel something off our top hip. And we'll feel more the deeper our inhales are. Very nice. On our next exhale, put a bend in that front knee and come back to Warrior Two. Perfect. All right. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to face you again just for a moment. So now the chair's on the right side of our mat, or the right side of our body, and the seat back's facing in. Left foot forward, right foot back. Here we go. Let's find Warrior One pose. Left knee toward those toes, deep bend in that knee. Right heel down on the ground with those toes. Good. We're just squaring up our shoulders, bringing our hips slightly forward, and our shoulders are rolled down and away from our ears. Remember, we always have that chair as we need it. Now stay right there. I'm going to shift and face to the side just so you can see what that looks like. Okay, my left foot still forward, right foot back, and I got that chair to my inside just like you do. Good. And now from here, nice inhale. We like to make the moves on exhales. We'll exhale to Warrior Two. So that left knee and toe, they don't move at all. Just point that right foot to the right side of the room and extend those arms front and back. That's Warrior Two. Good. And then we play around with the depth of that front knee and find that Warrior Two that works for us. Okay, we always got that chair right there. Again, if we need it, just to rest those hands on there, or just keep those fingertips, just to give us a little bit of a beacon point and a base of support. Excellent. Breathing in here, nice tall posture, ears over shoulders over hips. I'm purposely holding this one long because we're finding a little discomfort in this pose, just a little burn on those legs. How do we find the comfort in this one? We breathe. We breathe. Good. And now let's lengthen that front leg. Give a little mercy on that front leg. And with our arms, we're going to inhale and then exhale, reach as far as we can. Forward, our hips are going towards the back, and then tip over. Again, left hand above or below the knee on the leg, or we can use that block on the inside part of our leg, hand to the chair, or hand nice and high, right hand. Good. Good. We create that triangle shape with our legs. We stack through our shoulders. Feel a nice stretch in the inside part of that left leg, and a stretch up top, right through our body as we breathe in and breathe out. Very nicely done. Whew. Okay. On our exhale, let's come back to Warrior Two. Right back to Warrior Two. Good. Very nice. Very nice. So we're going to bring the chair right back to the left side of the mat again. Seat back facing in, and I'm just going to stay facing to the side. But I just wanted you to see that reference point as I'm standing right here, Warrior Two. Now I'm going to face to the side in Warrior Two. So that chair still into the inside of the left side of my mat. Okay. So we find Warrior Two, and we know this one. We've been here before. We sink into it. We keep that good posture. All right. Then we're going to flow a little bit in this pose. So from here, we're going to exhale and flip our front hand just a little bit, and then inhale and lift that hand up toward the sky. That left hand is either resting on the chair, resting on our leg, or on our tailbone behind us. We can look up at that hand in the sky and just lengthen our body, create space from those fingertips down the front side of our body, through our ribs, into our hips. That front knee is still bending right towards those toes. Don't let that knee cave in, okay? Keep it nice and active and nice and good formed. Good. So I'm going to just place my hand on the chair, and now I'm going to move to right angle pose. So on the inhale, reach higher. On the exhale, hinge forward, right forearm to the top of the leg. Back hand stays right there or lifts up toward the sky. We can also just set that hand on the hip, especially if it bothers our shoulders. Okay, so we make choices. Now, because we're feeling discomfort doesn't mean we have to find the comfort. If it's discomfort and it doesn't feel good, that's a good indication to stop doing that, right? Remember what we talked about in class? I went to the doctor one day and said, "Doctor, it hurts when I do this." You know what the doctor said? "Stop doing this." Oh, how about that? And now we're going to inhale the reverse warrior and exhale the right angle. Inhale, reach nice and high, and exhale, back into the sky. And just flow through this. Inhale, reach that right hand. Exhale, right hand's on the chair, left hand to the sky. And just switch hands on the chair if you're using the chair. And if not, just rock forward and back, swaying, keeping deep in those legs. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, come forward and reach overhead, bicep to that ear. One more time. Inhale, reverse, and exhale, right angle. And are we done with that one? We probably are. Let's lengthen that leg and come out of it. Whew. All right. Now that's some work right there. We're going to take the chair now. We're going to flip it over to the right side. So it's just right here in the middle part of my mat on the right side. And we're going to find Warrior Two. We're going to find Warrior Two. So left foot is pointing right towards the front, knee towards the toes, and back foot perpendicular to that. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that. My left foot is still forward and my right foot perpendicular. Got that chair right there as needed. Good. Arms out nice and long, good tall posture right here. Take a nice big exhale and flip that front hand and then inhale and lift it up toward the sky, reverse warrior. Again, reverse warrior is not about reaching in back. Even though the word is reverse, it's not how far in reverse I can reach. It's really about how high I can reach. How much can we lift up? Okay? How much can we lift and reach for it? Holding that position, that front knee is still towards those toes. Take a nice big inhale and we'll find an exhale and right angle pose. So left forearm on top of that leg. Back hand right there still on the chair, or raise that right hand up toward the sky. Again, it can be right on your hip if it bothers your shoulders as well. Very nice, very nice. So we're sinking in deep right here. Again, feeling a little burn on our legs. That might be some discomfort. Okay, as long as it's a healthy discomfort. Okay, we just breathe through it and find the comfort in this posture, the restful nature of this posture. And now inhale to reverse warrior. And exhale back to right angle pose. And let's do that 4 more times, using the breath to guide our way. Inhale and exhale. You just saw me adjust my front leg, making sure my knee stays right above my ankle. I've got a mirror in front of me that's right behind the camera so I can see that. Good, inhale and exhale. Good, one more time on the inhale, one more time on that exhale. And then let's find Warrior Two and let's call it a day on that one. Very nice, come on out, come on out. Good. So from here, we're going to bring that chair right in front of us. I'm going to face you on this one initially. Okay, I'm going to face you right here initially, and then I'm going to turn to the side. So we'll begin with pigeon pose. Pigeon pose. So our right foot's forward and our left foot is slightly back. I don't know if you can see that through the chair. And we're going to keep our shoulders and hips square. Square to the chair, square to the mat. We're going to breathe in nice and tall and just begin hinging through our hips. Okay, so that's the front part I wanted you to see. I'm going to turn to the side now and continue to do that. So as I stay nice and tall, just a half step, heel to toes on the ground, I begin just hinging on down. Letting that leg adjust to get a nice stretch on that right leg. Keeping those hips and shoulders square to the chair and the floor beneath us.
I can either use the chair and just rest my elbows on that chair if this is the point in which my body needs to stop and is telling me and saying, that's just enough, that's just right. Maybe I stop right here. Or I take that block or whatever I'm using as my block and I can rest my hands on that. Wherever the restful nature of this pose is for you, that's an indication for us to just settle in, relax, drop the crown of our head, and round through our spine and breathe. And breathe. Couple more breaths right here. I'm going to adjust my chair. Actually, I'm just going to adjust my body and face towards you again, because we're going to add a little twist into this. So just imagine my hands are on the chair or on the block. That left hand is going to stay on the chair or on the block or on the ground, and I'm going to raise my right hand up toward the sky. My right hand comes up toward the sky for a twisted triangle. Both feet on the ground, heels to toes. Okay, this might be something that's challenging our breath a little bit. So if we find ourselves constrained with that breath, if it's not free-flowing, lift up higher on that chair, lift up higher on the block, or just rest your hand on your hip and just find that spot that best works for you. The benefit here, deep stretch on the outside of that right hip, IT band and glutes and lower back. Good. As we exhale and come down, okay, I'm going to face back to the side right here. Both hands on the chair. Right foot still forward, okay, and left foot's back. And then we're going to start drawing our shoulders above those hands, left heel up off the ground. This is called three-point balance. And then we're going to find Warrior Three. So with Warrior Three, you can take your right hand, extend your right hand forward, thumb up toward the sky. Remember spinal balance we did earlier. Okay, you're welcome to stay right here. Or if you want to experiment with that balance, take both hands off that chair or just nearby that chair to experiment with it. You can also bring your hands to heart center or back by your hips, wherever you find comfort in Warrior Three. Okay, I just know I've got that chair nearby if I need it, okay? And that gives me comfort in this discomfort of finding that balance. Good. And then exhale and release down. Exhale and release down. Very nicely done. Let's go on to that left side now. So left foot forward. We're going to do that sequence all over, just the left side. So the left side is forward, right foot back. Square up hips and shoulders toward that chair and towards that mat. Breathe in nice and tall as you can, and hinge through the hips. Hinge through the hips. Again, finding that chair and just crawling down the chair, the leg, to find that spot in pyramid pose. Now, one part of pyramid pose, this is what I love about the chair. I tell you all the time, I do chair yoga at my house because there's postures that I feel I get more value when I have the chair. And pyramid pose is one of those. I love getting right here and resting my elbows on the chair. It's just so comforting. Just allows me then to get my ears between my arms and a little stretch up top. So as you find wherever your comfort is in this pose, whatever version of pyramid you want, okay, just make sure it feels the same way that I'm talking about, the way it feels for me. Okay, it's all going to feel different. I can't feel it for you and you can't feel it for me, but you can feel it for yourself. And all we're just trying to do is feel something that feels good. All right, now we're going to add that twist. So either hand on the block or on that chair or on the ground, we're going to raise that left hand up toward the sky. Both feet stay on the ground, heels to toes. Heels to toes. And we're still able to breathe freely through this. A nice deep inhale and exhale. And when we're able to breathe freely in the postures, we allow ourselves to control our disposition. We allow ourselves to control how we think about this, but we also know that that's the body's way of saying, I'm in the pose the right way for me today. Okay? We don't use our bodies to get into the pose. We use the pose to get into our bodies. Let's bring both hands down. Shoulders over hands. Left foot stays on the ground. Right heel lifts up. Both hands still pressing straight down on that chair. We're moving towards Warrior Three. We can start by lifting that left hand up. Remember spinal balance. And then that right hand, if you want to experiment with both hands off the chair, hands forward, hands heart center, or back by those hips. And breathe. Breathe. It's okay to wobble. It's okay to stumble. There's a lot of life lessons in wobbling. How do we react when we wobble? How do we try to respond instead? And then what is our response? Is it just trying again as a calm exhale and set that right foot down? Very nice. We'll do another balance posture. So I'm going to turn the seat back toward me. Okay, so if it's straight on, head on, I'm standing behind the chair as if it was in that original seated position. I'm just going to show it at an angle just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay? So standing balance pigeon. It's a great stretch and a great balance. My right foot's going to stay on the ground the whole time. Okay, dig those toes in so we get a nice strong foot, nice strong calf, and locks that knee into place. With our left foot, bring our toes toward our shins. That also locks that knee into place. Healthy for our knees. Then we'll bring that left ankle above our right knee and create a little figure four. Just drop that left knee down. If you're unable to do this, set the toes on the ground and just cross the legs. Okay? You're going to get the same benefit. And then with our hands on the chair, we're going to begin just sitting down, bringing that tailbone a little closer to the ground. And initially just focus on the stretch. Through the hips, through the glutes, and into the lower back. Then if you want some balance, experiment with removing those hands from the chair. Hands at heart center, and we always know the chair's right there. Hey, here's another option too. You can see the wall, right? Just do this on the wall. This is great. Just have it right there at the wall. Okay? And then next exhale, gently come out, and we'll switch to the other side. I'll stay right here. Left foot on the ground. Okay, dig that foot in. Right toes toward the shins. Locks that knee into place. Right ankle above that left knee or below, whatever works for you. And then sit into this posture. Sit into this posture. Excellent. And then again, just experiment with releasing those hands. Experiment with that balance. And breathe. And breathe. Okay? This may be something that's a little bit uncomfortable to do. Or it might be something you weren't quite sure that you were able to do. And you're discovering for the first time that you can do this. And that's awesome. On our next exhale, let's release down. Very nice. So I'm going to stay facing you now. And we're just going to bring those chairs back to the original seated position. And sit forward into our chairs. Let's go and take a seat. Now I'd like to put a block down on the ground. We're going to do a single leg fold, and I like to just set my heel onto that block. Okay, if you don't have that, that's fine. Just set your heel down. So left leg stays bent and right leg extends out. Right toes toward the shins, and we just breathe in nice and tall, and exhale and begin walking down that right leg. Just walk on down. And again, we're just trying to find a little something, a good stretch. We're not trying to overdo it, okay? Not trying to grab under our leg and then jam our nose and toward our knee and feel something that is just agonizing. That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. Nice and gentle stretch. We treat our body gently and it'll treat us nicely right back. That's how we do it. As we exhale and release on back out of this, same thing other side. Same thing other side. Inhale up nice and tall and exhale. Again, walk down those legs. Those toes are towards my shins. And then I find a gentle stretch on that side. And if I'm concentrating and still focusing on how I'm moving my body, I may discover that this side may feel a little bit different than the other side. Maybe it's looser, maybe it's tighter. And so we just adjust for that side of our body. Very nice. As we exhale and come right back up, sit nice and tall. Good. We're going to find eagle posture, eagle pose. Let's take our right leg over our left leg. Cross those legs. Very nice. And then just squeeze those legs together. And we'll bring our arms out nice and wide. And then we're going to set our right elbow into our left elbow. And either give ourselves a little hug, bring the back of our hands together, or our palms together. And when you found the arms that you want, then you lift those elbows a little higher. And you just sit here, squeezing those legs together, and then opening up those shoulders as we lift those elbows up. Feel that stretch between our shoulder blades. Between our shoulder blades. Just keep lifting those elbows into where it feels just right. Good. Nice breath in. Fill those lungs. You'll feel a little bit more on that stretch, and then exhale and release. And now keep the legs right where they're at. Let's release those arms. Take our left hand to the outside of that right leg, and then stay nice and tall as we rotate right hand to the back of the chair. Staying nice and tall, just get a nice and deep stretch into our lower back and to the outside of our hips or glutes and lower back. And again, just breathe in and let it out. As we exhale, let's come back to center. We'll do the same thing, other side. So this time, left leg crosses over the right leg. We squeeze those legs together, and then we'll bring those arms out nice and wide. Nice and wide. Left elbow this time sits into the right elbow. Again, give yourself a hug, back of the hands together or palms together, and then lift those elbows up just a little bit. Just a little bit to feel those shoulders separate and round, and then keep squeezing those legs together. And then filling those lungs as much as we can. One more big inhale and exhale. And then let's take those arms and unravel those arms. Take that right hand and bring it to the outside of that left leg, left hand to the chair. Behind us, sit tall and rotate. And again, breathe, breathe. Good stretch right there. As we exhale and come right back to center. Good, feet about hip distance apart, firmly on the ground. We'll take our hands onto the back of our chair, palms facing each other. Palms facing each other. Just hold on to the chair, just lightly lean forward. Watch that that chair doesn't tip forward. Just a light lean forward. So we just rounded our shoulders and separated them from each other. And now we're getting a nice stretch up top through our chest and shoulders and bringing those shoulder blades down and toward each other. So a little retraction. It's always nice to do a little bit of an opposite movement when we round something and then arch back on the other. So that's a good stretch right there, chest and shoulders, nice and gentle, don't overdo it. Good, and exhale and just sit tall. Very nice, let's take that left hand and we're gonna reach behind our back and grab onto the right wrist. And then pull it through, making a wing on the left side. And we'll take a nice big inhale and then exhale our chin to our chest and our left ear to left shoulder. Relax our jaw, space between our teeth, and breathe. Nice gentle stretch along our neck and shoulder. Very nice. And we'll do the same thing onto the other side. That right hand grabs onto that left wrist, pull it through, make a wing on the right. A nice big inhale. And then exhale, chin to our chest and right ear to right shoulder.
and then gently release. Let's go ahead and sit all the way back into our chairs. All the way back into our chairs. Knees over the ankles, feet flat on the floor, nice and tall posture. To rest those hands gently on top of our legs. Eyelids resting gently on our eyes, expressionless in our face as we have space between our teeth, and relax our jaw. And just allow our breath to be a natural, everyday breath. Allow our bodies to find stillness. Allow our bodies to find quiet and rest. And as we find that stillness and quiet and rest through our bodies, what allows our minds to do is to reach into the benefits of our practice from today. How do you feel right now? How do you feel right now compared to how we felt 45 minutes ago? What level of comfort do you have right now? What level of calm and peace and relaxation do you have right now? Do we feel better? Do we feel happier? Have we let go of some of that stress and anxiety? Have we let go of some of those things that were weighing heavy on our minds and on our shoulders? Have we embraced the idea that it's important to care for ourselves? That when we move, we feel better. That when we move, we improve. Are we allowed that to creep in? Are we holding on to the idea that through the breath, we can reach into our minds? We can calm ourselves down. We can allow ourselves to use the tools we have already within. Because when we can't go outside, the only place to go is inside. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. I'm so grateful for this opportunity today to share this practice with each and every one of you, to be present and in this moment, allowing ourselves to deepen our practice, allowing ourselves to discover that we have the ability to find comfort with discomfort, and that comes from within us. I honor the love and light in each of you as it's also within me. Namaste.